What's up, guys? It's Paladin Null. I'm here with my friend CPQ.
Hi.
And welcome out to another episode of Let's Hang Out with Show. And guess what the first option is for us? Do we want to hang out with Mayu, or do we want to hang out with Show?
We want to hang out with Show, but let's see what the dice says.
Give me evens and odds.
Evens odds.
That's a 3,
Yeah, boy.
which is odds.
No one's here to say no to us yet.
Yeah, nobody's here to re-roll us yet.
Good, so go. Don't wait for people. Give us what we want, Paladin.
I'm in the mood for a sweet lot. For a second, I was like, "Why does it say ladle?" It was like, but with T's. A sweet latte. So I decided to make my way. I guess I don't drink any coffee ever, like period. So the word latte is rather foreign to me.
That's fair. You don't read the word latte very often.
No, I don't. I'm in the mood for a sweet latte, so I decided to make my way across the campus quad toward the cafe. I might actually hold that bottle of whiskey against my ear.
Oh,
It's already starting to heat up again.
Aw. Do you want to switch sides? I can just hold it against your ear the whole time.
Nah, we're good. Ninja reflex. I instinctively sidestep and watch a frisbee fly past my head. Three guys approach me and I recognize Show as one of them.
Yay.
Broseph? Sorry about that.
Excellent work, Show. I especially like the part where you did the mid-air twirl and completely whiffed your throw.
What the fuck,
That was going to be a
Richard?
legendary move. It just so happens that my fingers were a little sweaty.
Sure.
The two guys glance at each other and then laugh. Wait, didn't I have class with these guys? Don't I have class? One of them turns towards me.
Anyway, you okay?
It's the dudes! It's the dudes that liked Valerie!
Yes.
His eyes widen when he recognizes me.
It's the chick magnet!
Why does every single fucking scene we're in with Show have to deal with us being chick magnets?
Yeah, it's so sad.
Yep, I have class with them.
You're right.
Wait, what? Where?
They both point to me.
This guy.
This guy?
This guy.
This guy. Pretty sure they're referring to the first time I met Valerie in class. Hey guys.
You know each other?
Yeah, he's been teaching us how to pick up the lady.
No, I haven't.
No, what?
Don't deny your talents. We've seen you hanging around campus with that blonde bombshell.
Yeah, because she's on our team.
Well, yeah, she's our team engineer. Show perks up.
Oh.
Oh,
Ding.
you guys mean Valerie?
You know her too?
They both stare at Show with awe.
Your childhood friend, the girl from gymnastics, and now the engineer chick too?
Show's also a chick magnet. We just don't see it as often.
Damn, Show.
Damn, Show. Sarah looks just as perplexed as I
What are you
do.
guys rambling about?
Pair share a knowing look with each other, then cross their arms and nod.
We have a ways to go.
Listen, buddy, you just can't compete with raw main character talent.
Right?
But one day, we'll reach your level.
One day we won't be blackout lines. Show shrugs.
Anyway,
He looks at me.
what brings you here, Broseph?
Just heading to the cafe. You?
I was just showing these guys an awesome frisbee throw I saw on MeTube.
Instead of YouTube. I hate and love this game's fucking knockoff name brands.
Awesome, he says.
They laugh again.
Oh, I'll show you. Watch.
Show grabs the frisbee and takes a few steps back to give himself space. Then he takes a running start to build momentum, jumps, spins in the air, and whips the frisbee free. It goes flying. That actually looked pretty cool. Even the two guys are impressed. The frisbee curves back like a boomerang, but instead of coming back to us, it heads straight for a well-dressed older man in a blazer.
Oh
Crap, not again. Watch out!
The man catches the frisbee midair. He looks around and makes a beeline toward us when he spots us.
It was nice hanging out with you, but, we've got
Please tell me he's the cool
class.
professor. He's like, that was an awesome throw.
Yeah.
I'd like to invite
guys
you to
later.
my ultimate frisbee team.
Wait, where are you going? What about your frisbee?
Keep it!
Keep it.
The two friends speed walk away into the distance.
Cowards!
Show looks at me, then gulps. The man approaches, his eyes widen in surprise. But not nearly as wide as Show's.
Akio.
Is that his older brother?
Oh.
That looks like an older brother.
It does. They blink at the same time, so
Hello, show.
I'm uncomfortable.
Shinjiro. They look eerily similar. Do you two know each other? Show nods.
This is my brother.
Yeah, they're both Shinjiros.
Okay, okay.
All trace of laughter is gone from his voice. He's strangely stiff and formal. It's obvious he's not very comfortable around his brother.
I'm Akio Shinjiro.
Kevin McKevin. He smiles politely.
What are you doing here?
I'm the guest lecturer for Robotics and the modern business world.
Oh yeah,
Why
you're
didn't
fucking
you tell me
Corby.
you were coming?
Although Show's careful to keep any sense of bitterness or disapproval from his voice, it's clear he's not pleased by this surprise. They don't act very brotherly.
I only arrived a few hours ago. I was going to
His
text
mic
you after the
fucking
first lecture.
sucks.
Yeah. I mean, they probably didn't have a booth.
No, I'm sure this was actually so. What they probably did for a game like this, because I've actually done it before.
Hired a bunch of people and they did it in their own rooms.
Yeah, is they probably like a bunch of people probably there's several like voice acting websites out there where you can basically put out your own B-roll
Yeah.
and be like, here's my thing, here's my B-roll. If you like it, feel free to hire me for any of your roles. Like I'll play bit characters, I'll play like characters in whatever.
Yeah, I need
Just
to
give
do
me
that.
your roles.
I need to do that.
It's how a lot of people get started. I'm sure they probably went onto one of those things and then put out a couple of
Feelers.
got some people, and then just had them read their lines directly from a script that they were sent, having
No idea what was happening.
like either not knowing what was happening or very very minimal voice coaching
Yeah.
for like what the scenes are gonna be like. That's how a lot of these lower budget games tend to work. And not to say that this is lower budget, but I mean like
Have you seen
games
it?
that have
Have you seen it?
yeah, but simultaneously like it's pretty high budget for a visual novel.
That's fair.
Namely, the fact that it even has voice acting means it's
Well,
higher budget than normal.
That's
It's just
what I mean. It's a visual novel. It's a lower budget game.
Visual novels are inherently lower budget. It's just that they also had enough budget to get voice acting for the main characters.
Yeah.
He smiles.
But since you're here, let's pencil in something for the weekend.
Pencil in. No shrugs.
This guy's a fucking narc.
I'll have to check my schedule first.
Akio nods.
Of course. Let's say tentative for Saturday.
Sure, but I might be busy.
Then let me know when you can.
What tentative means, show?
Akio looks at me.
You're welcome to join us. I'd like to get to know Show's friends he doesn't share much about.
Don't you have a lecture to go to?
Akio sighs and checks his watch.
Correct. Let's continue this conversation over the weekend.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Damn.
Oof.
That is cold.
Oof. Unlike your ear.
Yeah, unlike my ear, which is burning hot. Like you can see it's red in the picture.
Oh, God, baby.
You can feel it's burning up.
Your poor baby.
Alright, bottom to top. I'm not getting involved. Why are you being a jackass and what was that all about?
Sorry, my earpiece was on and I didn't even have the thing open. Oh, I forgot. I don't shake it anymore. Also, I should turn on my sound. 3.
Hey, what was that all about? There's one-
Look, that's the best answer we got. So
There
someone-
is one person in chat right now. I'll go ahead and save just as a formality, but...
I was about to say, why is our uncle not wearing pants? But those were khakis.
No, Uncle's just not wearing pants.
I mean, who really wears pants at all times in their house if they're alone?
Me.
No, you don't.
Not at all times, but like if I'm not wearing pants and I'm up and around, I will usually put on some pajama bottoms.
That's fair.
Oh, so only recently has that become less of a thing, and it's because I don't keep my AC on all the time. It's warm, and so I just walk around, and I will walk around in boxers, but 9 times out of 10, I actually try to find my basketball shorts. It's just usually whenever I'm walking around and you see me, it's because I was also laying in bed,
That's fair.
and I don't lay in bed with pants on.
That's fair.
End of story. Your brother seems nice. Sho just shrugs. He rarely ever talks about his family, and I guess his family being here still isn't enough to get him to open up about them. You're not exactly yourself around him.
You don't know him like I do.
There is a big ass tub of ice cream still in that fridge. I feel like that was a wise purchase. Where are you going for the big tub's in here? Oh, spoon, right. Most people don't just go and do the supermarket special where they just go, eh. Or they don't do that, they just take the whole jug and go like this, right? Yeah, they just lick the inside of it. You know, they had to start packaging those things with like film lids on them now.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them did already, but now it's...
No?
Oh, I thought you were trying to put ice cream on my ears. Like, what are you doing?
It's wet, but it's also cold, so it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm sure that's uncomfortable, but it's cold, so...
What do you mean?
He's not as he seems. I don't trust him just showing up out of the blue.
I'm sure he knows his brother best, but I don't get that feeling. But I didn't get that
He
feeling.
lives and works in London, so the fact that he's here is very suspicious.
Susp. Well, he said he was invited to lecture for a class. Sure doesn't seem convinced.
It's too convenient. And why now?
Regardless, he did come all this way. Aren't you going to at least see him this weekend? Show size.
Yes, but only because he'll be a nuisance if I don't.
Do you want me to come Saturday?
If you want to.
That's not an
That's
answer.
not the answer.
That's not an answer. I don't want to intrude.
No, it's fine. Actually,
We're
I think I
constantly
prefer
telling
you
each other
coming. Maybe then he'll be on his best behavior.
Okay. This is getting really awkward. Part of me thinks it would be a bad idea to go, but maybe I can help mediate and smooth things over between them. A show line that wasn't read for us. Anyway, I'm gonna head off. Alright, have a good one. Sho nods and heads toward his dorm. Can't help but feel a bit uneasy from this entire exchange. Make my way toward the cafe and meet our account manager from Dashu. That's right, that was the thing we were doing.
Oh, yeah.
I try to anticipate what kind of questions he'll ask about Eagle so I can have answers ready. You said this wasn't an interview, but I still want to make a good impression. As I enter the cafe, I sweep my gaze across the room and spot a man wearing a Dashu jacket. That must be him. After ordering a cup of coffee, I walk over to greet him. Hello. That does not say Dashu on it. The man faces me, and I'm surprised by how young he looks. He only seems to be a couple of years older than us. I'm Kevin, the pilot of Eagle from Ace 2049-11. He smiles and gestures to the seat across from him. I accept the seat.
Thanks for meeting me on such short notice. As I'm sure you know, I'm Yuri Ariev, your account manager with Dashu.
They're Russian. A waitress places our drinks on the table. Takes a sip from his drink and seems pleasantly surprised. Must be some good coffee.
I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I am curious about a few things.
Do you think your quota could be used to help progress the motherland? About Eagle?
Eagle?
He looks genuinely confused. I guess my intel wasn't
No,
correct.
about hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive. That was the team I played for at CINY. It's like Yuri did his homework on me. Someone wants the inside scoop. Sure, ask away, or I'm still under NDA. Top to bottom. You know what NDA means, right?
I thought I turned you off.
Might be something you have to turn off every time. I don't know.
What was it?
Top to bottom.
One.
Sure, ask away. Do you know what NDA means?
Non-disclosure agreement.
Yes,
You can't talk about it.
basically.
That's what they signed at the end of season 1 of Stranger Things.
That's what most places require you to sign. It's why, like, certain people, like, the problem with high-profile actors is you can make them sign an NDA all you want, but at the end of the day, you can't fire them because
No,
if
I mean
it's
the
a-
characters. At the end of season 1.
the character
The
signed an
government
NDA?
facility made them sign an NDA.
Okay.
About 11, about the monsters, about the Upside Down.
I thought you were talking about the actors, because that's another thing, is like actors are required to sign NDAs for a lot of the work they do.
Yeah.
It's a little bit easier to enforce on people like side characters or characters that aren't as important and can be replaced, or like especially like background characters or people who worked on set. They all have to sign NDAs. It's really annoying because there are some actors out there, big name actors that you can't replace, who will just casually break NDA because they're excited about the work they're doing.
Like David, what's his face?
Mm-hmm.
We're frozen.
We're frozen?
Yeah.
Oh, the camera broke. Hold on, I can fix it.
It just turned off.
Yeah, it's because the camera broke. Hold on. There we go. We're back. Hello.
Hi.
I don't know why it does that sometimes. I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. Alright, nobody's saying anything. We're just gonna assume that that person in chat's not playing. I'll try to answer as best I can. He smiles.
I am more interested about the team and sponsorship dynamics in the West. I've researched that companies have official teams in the school rather than just sponsoring a different team from time to time.
A nod. That's right.
Hyperdrive is an S-ranked division team at CINY. That's quite the accomplishment. I can see why you transferred into Ace with a history like that.
Hard work paid off. I'm a natural, or I was just their primary backup. Middle, top, bottom.
1.
I'm a natural. Nothing from you. You just gonna let this one play out?
I'll let this play out.
Alright. I'm still making saves.
Fair.
Because you never know. Really? It was pretty easy, to be honest. Yuri grins.
Very confident. Interesting. What were your teammates like?
Hyperdrive had about 20 pilots on the team. I didn't know all of them well, but I made a few friends. Yuri takes another sip of his coffee.
Ah, yes. I've heard the official company teams tend to recruit purely from an efficiency and winning standpoint. There's even internal competition within the team to see who are the strongest pilots. Which means your solo rank must have been strong if you were the primary backup after the starting 4.
Yeah, although I can't say everyone was pleased with the first year being a primary backup.
I take it the more senior members of the team weren't pleased.
Yep. Because of that, most of the people I considered to be close were other first years. But some of the seniors who were already in on the starting lineup would help me train.
Sounds like there was a very split dynamic among the team, which is not surprising given how large it is. It's hard to
Such a
foster
weird,
close
like,
camaraderie
middle
when
of the
everyone
game
competes
thing
for
to
the
do.
same
Yeah.
spots.
There were definitely a lot of cliques that formed within the group. I tried to stay away from any drama and was just focused on bringing up my rank.
How well do you think that model works compared to the model here?
Pause. The pressures are different, but I do believe smaller teams make more efficient teams. You're more invested in your personal training and development, not because there's a looming pressure that somebody's just a number away from replacing you, but because you're an important member of your team. And of course, you end up fostering closer relationships with your teammates. But the whole sponsorship process here is incredibly imbalanced. Honestly, I'm grateful you agreed to sponsor us. We were rejected a few times before, and Yuna was really disappointed by how unwilling most companies were to consider us.
Your team at Ace is a little unique. Even though you guys are an S-ranked division team, because you're a new team with no history of performance, you're also considered high risk.
High risk?
Yeah, it's hard to gauge whether your team is a strong up-and-comer or if your entry into this division was a fluke. Most companies don't like that uncertainty.
If that's the case, how come you decided to take that risk?
I know good talent when I see it. If I had been too afraid to take risks, I never would have landed Yudai. When I signed him on, he was a new pilot but already showed so much potential.
Looks wistful.
What happened to him was tragic. The least I could do is to help his sister, especially after seeing how his
do
death
learn
affected
about her.
her.
Wait, what happened?
You don't know?
falters.
You should probably talk to Yuna.
Oh, sure. An uncomfortable silence settles while we both sip at our drinks. Once he downs the last of his coffee, he checks his phone and smiles politely.
I have to run to another meeting. Thanks again for stopping in to chat with me, and I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
I like him.
It's fun.
He's cool.
It's not fun, but he's cool.
Thanks, it was nice to meet you. I say my goodbye and take another sip of my drink as I watch him leave. What happened to Yuna's brother? How come she never mentioned him to me?
Because we're not in her
Questions race through my mind, but I clear them away as I finish my drink. Shouldn't drive myself crazy thinking about questions I don't have the answers to. Next time I see Yuna, I'll ask. In the meantime, I still have some time before I should go home. What should I do to clear my mind? Immediately confront Yuna. It's an option. Middle, bottom, top.
2. Alright.
That's Yuna.
I literally turned it off twice.
That's already Yuna. I know it's really early in the night, but simultaneously, I don't want to talk to Yuna about this shit. I want to do something else.
Alright, reroll. You want me to use it?
No, I don't. Stop asking me if you want me to if you want me to use your reroll for stuff.
But I want to make you happy, Paladin.
That's not what this is about.
I'm your girlfriend. It's my job to make you happy.
You use your reroll to either dick over people
I'm your girlfriend.
or
It's my job to make you
for your
happy.
own personal interests.
You're my personal interest, Paladin.
Well, my personal interest right now is making an interesting video. And you constantly offering me your one dick over move is not an interesting video.
That's fair.
I won't bother. We'll just talk to Yuna. I don't want to waste my reroll.
That's fair.
This is important. This is important shit. We're gonna talk to we're just gonna dial Yuna. Hey, what the fuck? Why didn't you tell me about your incredibly dead brother?
Are we gonna meet him one day?
Hello?
You could say that.
Hi Yuna. What are you up to this
I'm
evening?
in the small auditorium in the drama center.
Oh, is there a play?
Not quite. I'm attending a class run by the improv club. You should come.
Yes, and. The yes and is not an
I'm
option.
so excited.
They should have made yes and an option.
They should have.
Bottom to top.
1.
No. Damn. Just shut down immediately. No, none of these seem that important, but simultaneously, like, no. No. Simultaneously, well, if they're giving me the option to even say maybe, it makes me think that if I say okay, but then it might make us roll for it later anyway.
Uh-huh.
And if I roll not to go to it, what if she gets sad?
That's fair. But
simultaneously just
her.
stonewalling her seems not good.
Then don't wall her.
I'm not wasting my reroll on this. I'm not wasting my reroll on this. Thanks, but that's not my thing. I'll catch you another time.
Oh, okay. No problem. See you later.
All right. Girls with their brother say what? We hang up. Maybe I should hang out with someone else. That's all it was. It just gave us the option to say no. It was like, nah, that doesn't sound fun. I'll talk to somebody else.
Oh, I thought you were handing me your cup.
I've got my drink right here. I've got my drink and my drink right here. What I do need from you is odds and evens. Just not paying attention.
Evens odds.
4. It's evens. We're hanging out with Cowdy.
All right, I'm not speaking.
I'm actually okay with hanging out with Cowdy. I don't really want to hang out with Valerie. I wanna yell at somebody, and Cowdy's just the person for that.
Right? She loves yelling.
Let's yell at people.
Let's yell at people.
The match against Onebugeisha lingers in my mind. I've watched some replays of their past matches, and they're predominantly a melee-oriented team. My best practice against them would be to practice with Kaori and Aura. She's also melee-based. She doesn't answer when I call, but I make my way to the hangar anyway. When I arrive, I see Kaori is already in a simulation match. No wonder she's not answering her phone. After grabbing her attention, she agrees to play against me. I boot up Eagle and enter into a simulation with Aura. Dot, 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 dot.
Hi-ya!
Aura thrusts forward with an aggressive stab. Thrust backwards. I easily dodge her attack. Her gear loses balance and stumbles forward. Counterattack. Eagle uses counterattack. It's super effective. Dun, dun,
Well,
dun,
dang,
dun,
okay.
dun, 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 dun. Do I need to pull out the asset for Ryan Reynolds and Sauerkraut, the dynamic duo? That video hasn't been released yet. I just recently found it again on my computer. I was worried that I lost it because, you know, one of my hard drives failed. I was worried that I had lost it, but no, it's still there.
Good.
Still have it. I mean, she's been depowered.
Again!
Kaori's frustration is audible through the comm. This marks her 4th consecutive loss. She's playing too aggressively, and it's not playing out any tactics. Let's take a break.
No! We need to keep practicing.
We know we just did 4 matches.
Okay.
They just explained that.
Right.
I'd like to take a break for a minute. This isn't really practice for me, or no, you're sucking too much.
Oh boy.
I like all 3 of these. Top, bottom, middle.
1.
Top. I'd like to take a break for a minute.
Okay. Okay.
What? Just...
We've gotten 1 for like the past 3 rolls. So I wanted to make sure it was still a D3.
Paranoia
alright.
with the reroll. I forgot to change the YouTube.
What?
I forgot to change YouTube to not be
Oh no.
the regular. It's still incredibly high latency.
Oof.
I forgot to change it. Again.
I'm sorry, Paladin.
That's my bad. I should have changed it the second we finished, but luckily Paranoia is still watching on Twitch, so that's a reroll.
Yee.
Does anybody want to stop him? Does anybody... I kind of want to see how this plays out if we say the others, because Kaori's gonna get pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her in her face that she sucks. She has been clouded by pride for too long. Yeah, we'll see. That was, I said it was,
Said it was top to bottom.
Did I say top to bottom?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I rolled a 1.
Top to bottom then still.
2.
2, this isn't really practice for me. I feel like that might make her more mad. Then no, you're sucking too much. Like, this isn't really practice for me. Does anybody wanna re-roll now? Oh wait, all these are 30th of July. I need to be right here. Alright, this isn't really practice for me. Yeah, I don't know if these duels can really be considered training.
What's that supposed to mean?
Look at the scoreboard and you tell me. Anyway, I didn't say I wouldn't do more matches. Let's just take a small break to recharge and we'll continue.
Okay, fine.
Fucking owned. Aura disconnects from our virtual simulation. I do the same, then hop out of the cockpit and reconvene with Kaori at her gear. Her arms are crossed. That is not crossed. Her arms are crossed, and she has a sour look on her face. Kaori? She looks at me. I'm not sure what all of this is about, but we can't have that happen in a real match.
You think I don't know that?
She looks annoyed, but sighs anyway.
It's just, we absolutely can't lose to Ona Bugiesha.
Bugiesha. We won't. What's the big deal anyway? Or then get your head in the game. I really want that last one. Based on the fact that we've been getting so many ones, I'm gonna say bottom to top.
1.
Getting your head in the game.
Get your head in the game. We gotta get head in the game. You gotta get your head in the game. We gotta get a head in the game. Come on.
Is this a High School Musical or is this Star
Why am I
Kids?
feeling so wrong? My head's in the game, but my heart's in the song. She makes me feel so right. Should I go
Paranoia
for it?
is absolutely okay with us telling
Better
her to
shake
get her
this.
in the game.
Yikes. Dun, 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 dun. Bounce balls. Dun, 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 dun.
Did you say dance balls?
Bounce the ball.
I thought you said dance balls, and I was like, I mean, yes, that does boil the entirety of the
Get your
plot.
head yeah.
Well, it boils the
Get your
entire
head in the
plot.
game.
Not just get your head in the game, but like
No.
the entire plot of that entire movie.
The entire plot of the movie is act balls.
Act balls.
Technically, I guess you could say sing balls, but act balls. The part of the second movie is dance balls. 'Cause there's literally a song that Corbin Blue sings called I Don't Dance. Which is really funny because he
Dances while singing I Don't Dance.
and dances the entirety of the first and second movie.
All we have to do is focus and formulate a solid plan like we always do.
Agreed.
So it doesn't matter that it's May's team.
Agreed. May doesn't matter at all.
Stare at her. She seems just as shocked as I am by her outburst. Okay. Random outburst aside, that means no unnecessary aggressive play. When we practice, we treat it like the real deal. Okay, Buttercup?
Agreed.
Yeah, why didn't she read the line?
I don't know, there's been a lot of those today.
I'm glad we sorted that out. Kaori nods but can't quite hide her yawn. She covers her mouth, and after taking a look at her, I notice bags under her eyes. Looks like she used makeup to cover it up so I wouldn't notice. Kaori wears makeup? Someone stayed up all night.
Oof. Oh, that's you!
Hey, chicka bum bum.
Evens odds.
That's a 14.
Oof.
Kaori wears makeup?
Oof.
You know what? I'm okay with poking the fucking bear on this one.
That's fair.
I am A-okay with poking the bear on this one. It's the only way we will actually get her to do any, like, proper response.
That's fair.
2 shots of whiskey.
Glug, 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 glug.
Also, yeah, just, like, it does not take long for my bottle of whiskey to just turn into frost.
It's quite...
Please don't do this again. Please don't do this again. Why did I let you do this again? Please don't do this.
Lean to me. Lean to me.
That's cold. Like, it feels better for a longer period of time than holding it up to my ear, but simultaneously, that is very cold.
Poor baby.
I was about to just take a sip of just the whiskey in there without actually touching anything. Alright, we're going with Kaori wears makeup. Wow, I can't believe I never noticed you wear makeup. Kaori's caught off guard.
She do a blue
What? Huh? Why does it even... Why are you even bringing that up?
Hold on. Gotta finish pouring my drink. There we go. Nice and easy.
I could always sing.
Nope. We can continue playing. Don't get me wrong, you look great.
Stop looking at me like that.
Like what? My thoughts are innocent and pure.
Like how they are.
She slugs me in the arm. Her face is super red.
What about...
Ow, why do you always resort to
I
violence?
have to with idiots like you.
She's so Amger. What an
She is
Amger
Amger.
girl. Amger girl.
She spins around before I can say anything else.
Anyway, let's go back to practicing.
Heckin' Amger girls.
Okay.
Where to find them.
The heckin' Amgry girls and where to find them.
Yeah. I'm part of a Facebook group that's called Heckin' Angry Boys and Where to Find Them. You're not allowed to use N's. You can only use M's.
Oh.
If you use an N, you get kicked out of the group.
Really?
Yes.
Has it happened before?
Yeah. Not to me. It's
Do
just,
people get invited back, or is it like literally a permaban?
I don't know, but they're like, you get one,
one mess up.
One mess up. You're allowed to go and edit your post. Like, it's okay if it's autocorrect, but you have to go fix it. If you don't fix it, you get kicked out.
These seem like a
it's just-
significant amount of arbitrary rules.
It's just a dumb joke. I'm sure they'll let you back in, but like, it's just a dumb joke. You're not allowed to use the what is it? It's like the forbidden half M.
The forbidden half M.
The forbidden half M.
We head back to our gears and load up another simulation match. Kaori's more focused than before and no longer making such rash decisions. Ultimately, we end up getting a solid training session from our duels. Before long, it becomes late and we say our goodbyes before heading home. As soon as we hang up the phone, I head to the drama center.
Of course we do.
When I arrive, I spot Eunice sitting towards the right of the room. As I head over, I run straight into someone. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it.
Wait a minute. Hey, I know you.
Hmm?
Aren't you the instructor for the cooking club? You teach improv too? He laughs.
No, that's my twin brother.
It's just like what I do with the innkeepers.
Oh my god.
It's like what I do with the innkeepers, but they're all cousins. Oh, I see.
Anyway, have a seat. We are about to get
This is an
started.
example of the page. Friendship forehead kisses. It's just an angry raccoon biting someone.
Angry.
Angry.
He marches to the front of the room while I sit beside Yuna. She smiles in acknowledgement. The auditorium has about 30 people. Although I'd never consider improv before, I suppose it's something a lot of people are interested in.
Welcome to improv. For those of us new to this group, improv is live acting. Everything is made up in the moment. Plot, character, dialogue, everything. Every performance is unique and cannot be recreated in exactly the same way.
That's like us. We do improv on this show. And then the other times we just watch a dog who gets mad about the fact that there's another dog that
In the
looks
mirror.
identical to him in the mirror who also has his favorite toy. He's not happy.
Okay, everyone partner up. We're going to have each team perform a skit.
Yuna and I nod at each other.
It doesn't matter if you're a newbie to improv or a veteran. The most important thing to remember is to go with the flow. Your partner might throw something completely wild at you, but that's okay. That's what makes improv fun.
Quick, we have to go to the hospital. I cut off my leg.
Yes, and?
And I did so because it was infested with snakes.
Okay, fucking get in the car, I guess.
No, we can't take the car. The car's full of snakes too.
Oh my god, did you take another trip to the Amazon?
Listen,
I warned you about this!
how else am I supposed to get my packages?
Oh my god.
They're shipped out.
eBay.
No, eBay is only sold at the shore. It's called eBay. Besides, they don't have really good deals on snakes there.
Why not FedEx?
Why not FedEx?
Why not FedEx?
Because what can Brown do for you? I've seen Castaway. I know what happens when you trust FedEx.
Fine, fine. How are we getting to the hospital? Are we walking? You're sure not walking.
I assume drone.
Might as well, okay. Let's order one.
On what?
Amazon, I guess.
But then we have to go. You know what? No, this isn't working. You're gonna need to suck out the poison.
Okay.
On, let's turn off the camera. and scene.
God, we're so fucking stupid.
It's the dumbest shit, and that was so good.
I'm so proud of us.
I was very happy with that. That was very good.
You'll have a choice of scenarios on stage for each pair to choose from. Once the scene has been set,
There's a
then
lot
the
of-
only rule is to
Good,
do
I'm
whatever
proud of
comes
you.
to
Had a good
mind.
time.
I had to pull you into that for a second. Like you were not ready to participate
I
at
was
the
mad
beginning.
at you for fucking cutting off your goddamn leg. Are you serious, John? We have to go through this again?
What? It was full of snakes.
So, any volunteers?
Me. We volunteer as tribute.
You know, I still never saw any of those movies.
I only saw the first one because I only read the first book.
I wasn't allowed to because of child violence.
I read the first book.
Which is literally the point of the movie.
Mm-hmm. I read the first book and watched the first movie, and I didn't care about anything else about that franchise. They were
fair.
they were good standalone, and I didn't need more.
That's fair. I might try to watch one of them.
From what I understand, the movies are
Because I'm 25 now and my parents can't stop me.
Yes, paranoia. Please try to follow along a little bit better. Improv is fast. Yes, I amputated my leg because it was infested with snakes, which I got from the Amazon because I had to get my packages from somewhere, and I don't trust FedEx because I've seen Castaway. Now we're headed to the hospital
via.
via. We were gonna head to the hospital via drone, but that would require us to order one on Amazon, and then we'd be back where we started. So CPQ was just gonna suck the poison out. Nope.
Just pull his hair up. I got this.
Wonderful. come on up then.
Are you ready? She seems nervous, but nods.
As ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
That's the fun part about improv is like, if your partner does something, you have to roll with it. You cannot be nervous. You can't be like, wait, no, stop. You just roll with it.
I honestly, every time I end up in roll prop in improv,
Roll prop.
I end up yelling at someone. My improv is so angry all the time. And it's just so me because I'm angry all the time.
Well, it makes you getting angry makes for a really good like
Comedic effect.
well, not just comedic effect, but like straight man, because
That's fair.
even
Because in
improv
improv, most people don't want to be the straight man.
Yeah, because you don't get to do the wacky part. But it's a-okay to be the straight man in a wacky part because it allows somebody else to like somebody's still bouncing off of you, whether it be like with the FedEx thing. I bounced immediately off of that into Castaway.
I still haven't seen Castaway, so I had no idea what you were talking about.
It's a good movie. So the main character works for FedEx.
Oh, okay.
The main character works for FedEx. He's going on about a couple of things about improving their thing. And on a business trip, his plane gets his plane malfunctions and he crash lands on a deserted island for years.
All I know it has Wilson the volleyball.
Yeah.
You know what else
You'll
is a good
find the
movie?
scenario
What is the name
options
of that
on the
Daniel
table
Radcliffe
over
movie
there.
that reminds me
Once
of
you've
Castaway?
decided, read the scenario
The one where
out
Daniel
loud for the
Radcliffe
rest of
plays
the
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 dead
class.
Dead
body?
Body.
I don't remember the
It's
name of
something
it,
like
but
Dead Man or something.
I can't even remember.
It's on Netflix. Because that's where I stumbled upon it.
We walk over to the table in the corner of the stage.
Which one do you want to do?
I read the descriptions. You're at the beach, but you've gender swapped. You must declare your dying confession in the arms of your love.
I really want to do the first one. Even so.
I would absolutely love. It's just like, I have to tell you, my love. I don't really like Arby's. Ugh.
I fully expected I ripped my pants. I fully expected and I ripped my pants. 100% expected that.
When Big Larry came out just to put him down, SpongeBob turned into a clown.
Swiss Army Man. It was
Nobody
Swiss Army
ever
Man.
wants to dance with
the
a fool who went down.
Ripped his pants.
I don't mean to mope around, I can't remember the act, but the pain feels so much worse. 'Cause winding up with no friends is a lot less fun than a burn from the sun or sand in your buns.
Anyway, for those of you that are interested in Swiss Army Man, I'm gonna warn you, it is rated R, and rightly so.
Yeah, isn't it like horribly, horribly vulgar?
It's extremely vulgar. So fucking vulgar. It's about Daniel Radcliffe, who is a corpse that washes upon the shore. And this guy has just been carrying a corpse around for like a month because he's just lost in the wilderness.
He's like
And
crazy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. And
That's why Daniel Radcliffe, the corpse, starts talking to
yeah,
him.
corpse starts talking to him. He drinks out of the corpse's mouth.
God bless Stephen Hillenburg. It really, you know what really sucks? Like, by the way, please, if you value Stephen Hillenburg's image, do not watch Camp Crab or whatever it is. I can't remember what it was called, but it's a spin-off of SpongeBob, but Stephen Hillenburg, the creator of SpongeBob, spent years telling Nickelodeon that they were not allowed, like part of his contract was they were not allowed to make a spin-off of SpongeBob. He wouldn't allow it. It was just SpongeBob existed. And as soon as he died, they announced a spin-off for SpongeBob.
No. Is that why SpongeBob's ending?
It's not why SpongeBob's ending. It's SpongeBob is ending because they ran out of like content for it. So they're trying to like make it a prequel so they can make all the characters meet each other at like a summer camp.
No.
So, and it's also gonna be like 3D CG, so, ooh.
Oh.
It's not gonna be good, and it's going to spit all over Steven's memory. So do not support it. No matter what, do not support Camp Krusty or whatever.
Gladly. Pirate it all you want, but do not support it.
Do not support it in any physical way. All right, what was
it's Camp SpongeBob?
Not Camp SpongeBob. It's like...
I can't find Camp Crab anywhere.
Just type in SpongeBob spinoff.
Oh, that's a better idea.
Anyway, evens and odds. Evens odds. That's
Camp
an 8.
Coral.
Camp Coral, that's what it is. I don't think there's any visuals yet.
Yeah.
They've just said that it's going to be a CG spin.
animated,
Yeah,
like the
CG
latest-
animated.
Oh god.
And it's a prequel to SpongeBob.
confirmed
Yep.
for at least 13 episodes.
Yeah, Paranoia, I said it right there. Camp Coral.
Oh.
It's so dumb. But anyway, we got even. So you're at the beach, but you're gender swapped.
No. While it is the first SpongeBob spin-off, it won't be the last. Deadline reported earlier this year that Nickelodeon is planning further SpongeBob spin-offs focusing on the series' main characters. Like, here's the thing.
Because that's what worked. That's what worked last time one of their shows got canceled. Let's make
Planet Sheen.
Planet
again.
Sheen.
I loved Planet Sheen. Excuse you.
It was dumb.
My favorite part about Planet Sheen was that, in one of the very last few episodes, like, apparently Jimmy Neutron and all the gang were trying to come save him, but they didn't, and they just canceled the show.
Yeah.
And he was just left there. He was just left.
Yeah, they canceled the show. Like,
abandoned him.
the whole plot was that like he ended up in space somehow, and
That's a shame.
the whole plot was that Sheen was existing on this other planet, while Jimmy Neutron and team were trying to save him.
He was having a grand old time, but
With his slime friend that looked eerily
like Carl.
And didn't weren't all the characters just like alien versions of the other characters that they had from the original show?
Except Jimmy Neutron.
Except Jimmy Neutron, because if Jimmy Neutron was there, yeah. At points, I felt like Nickelodeon wanted another Ren and Stimpy.
They've been trying to like recreate Ren and Stimpy's like vibe for a while.
They don't want to recreate Ren and Stimpy.
like the vibe. They've been trying to create.
They
the
want to
vibe.
recreate the vibe, but keep it completely and totally like PG, family friendly. And that's the problem is you can't create the chaotic nature of Ren and Stimpy and remove
at
this.
Y7.
And remove the soul, which is its truly raunchy nature.
Mhm.
You just can't do it. It doesn't exist.
Rocco's Modern Life was fucking lit.
Rocko's Modern Life was also that way, though. Like, that show had ludicrously raunchy things happen.
But
in it.
here's the thing. Here's what you know they should remake. My Life as a Teenage Robot. You know what else they need to remake? Danny Phantom.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Maybe
so
not remake it, but continue it.
that one's gonna be difficult because Dan Harmon's kind of a fuck.
I know. I hate Dan Hartman, but like he made some good shit.
Dan Harmon.
Dan Harmon. I still hate Dan Harmon, but he made some good shit.
Yeah, Fairly Odd Parents, which is apparently still going and is terrible now.
He's sharing his
Fairies
his
with a
with
girl.
the new neighbor girl.
Yeah. But
Not
like,
Chester, who fucking deserves it.
yeah, who
Some
deserves
neighbor
fairies? Yeah.
girl.
Well, here's the real problem with that though: is Chester's happy.
Chester's extremely happy.
That's the problem, is that Chester, despite being poor, despite, not having anything to his entire life, is happy. Happy enough that he doesn't deserve fairies.
That he doesn't need them.
That he doesn't
He
need
deserves
them. Well,
them.
he deserves them, but the whole point about fairies is that they're supposed to make your life better, but simultaneously, that there's nothing that fairies can do to Chester's life that would make it better.
Yeah.
That didn't immediately reveal the fact that fairies existed.
Yeah, that's fair. You remember that one episode where he did get the fairies for the one episode, and all of his wishes were to help out his dad and his friends?
Yeah.
That's literally why he doesn't have fairies.
Because the first
he
thing...
does not make wishes for himself.
No, he just makes
doesn't want
wishes to make
anything.
Well, the only way that he can be happier is when there are other people in his life are happy, which is just a really good thing, but yeah. Nickelodeon has been floundering for years because they really don't have a good identity.
They don't.
Everything that's worked for them in the past, they either try to shy away from the parts that were, morally questionable, like in Ren and Stimpy, have burned bridges with certain staff members, i.e. Dan Harmon,
Yeah.
who
That's
does...
because he's a shitty person.
He's a shitty person, but simultaneously, most people that worked on, Nickelodeon shows were.
Yeah.
They refused to buy certain properties that were
Like
pitched
Steven
to them,
Universe.
like Steven Universe.
That's
or
why
I think,
Cartoon Network is making its way ahead.
and I believe Camp Lazlo was also originally
yeah, it was.
was
It was
pitched
it
to
was pitched
them.
to them first.
But they turned down both of those for like, I want to say, like one of them was definitely like Fanboy and Chum Chum.
Yeah. Oh my god, do you remember Mr. Meaty?
Yeah, Mr.
The
Meaty.
fucking creepy puppets. Oh, I hated that.
There's a lot of we're
gave
not
me
even we're not
nightmares.
playing the game. We should probably be playing
I'm
the
sorry,
game.
we were
We've moved over into the podcast focus of this section, which I would be a-okay with doing a podcast. The problem with doing so is that you have to have content.
Yeah.
The problem is
we only have about 10 minutes of content at a time.
no, we've been going at this bit for about 10 minutes.
See?
But still, like I could
And we're at the 10-minute mark. We keep circling back to the same things we've been saying.
But I could keep going about different things.
That's fair.
Because I didn't even get into the fact that, like, they also were kind of split down the middle where they didn't necessarily just want to be a cartoon channel, but they also wanted to be a live action channel.
Yeah, like Disney has been.
Mm-hmm.
Disney's
But the problem
slowly
is
moving back to their cartoons, though.
they are, because they're better.
Yeah.
The live action shows don't hold up. They're bad.
Dog with a blog.
There was that like
The last
the
good
last
live action they had was Good Luck Charlie.
was that on for Disney?
That was on Disney, yes.
Okay. I don't know much about Disney. The last good live action that I would say they probably had on Nickelodeon was maybe iCarly. And once again,
Yeah.
creator of iCarly and Drake and Josh and all
Victorious
those.
was good, but Sam and Cat was not.
Victorious was good as well. But like all of those live action shows from them were made by the same guy who turned out to be a really weird pedophile.
Yeah.
So like good riddance to him, but simultaneously that means that all of the decent shows that they had are also gone.
Yeah.
Which sucks because it's like you want to have the shows, but you don't want to support the asshole. Gender swamp beach scene. So I have to play a girl and you have to play a guy?
Yep.
It might be fun playing Yuna. Let's do this one. She raises her eyebrows but doesn't disagree. It's not an answer. After we select our description, I read it aloud for the class. The instructor then gives us the signal to begin. Yuna squares her shoulders and swaggers exaggeratingly onto the stage.
I love the beach and doing manly things like, swimming. Too bad my friend isn't here with me so we can swim together.
Gotta hope she hits on us badly.
Yuna looks pointedly in my direction, indicating for me to join her in our skit. I pretend to be shy and pitch my voice high. Tee-hee, just a minute. There's a prop bin in the corner of the stage. I rummage around the bin, hoping to find something to use. Aha! I grab 2 balloons and stuff them underneath my blazer. A chorus of laughter reverberates in the room, but Yuna's face is one of chagrin. Sorry, I'm late. I was getting ready. Yuna gets back into character, and instead of talking, she stares very obviously at my balloons.
That's not what I look like. Is it?
I cover my chest with an arm. Ah, stop being a pervert! Yuna pretends to balk.
No, that's not it. I was just admiring your swimsuit.
We're reenacting the last episode.
Yeah, we are
you guys.
reenacting the last episode from reverse. I pout and continue to cover my chest.
Anyway, why don't we go swimming?
She is not happy about this.
Poor baby.
I suppose, if you want to, we can.
Race you there.
She runs across the stage and mimes diving into the ocean. I follow slowly behind her and pretend to wade carefully into the shallow water. No.
Oh no.
Oh no, as soon as I touched the water, my top fell off.
Oh my god.
I hold the balloons close to my chest, but let the blazer fall to the ground, mimicking losing a bikini top. Yuna's mouth drops open in shock.
Oh, she's gonna
I
be
turn my back to
mad at
Yuna,
you.
but not before I see her bright red cheeks. Don't look at me!
Oh, she's so mad
I
at
peek
you.
at her out of the corner of my eyes. Her shocked expression suddenly melts into a cheeky smile.
Oh no! For some inexplicable reason, my nose has started bleeding.
Yes! Turn it against us! Turn it against us, Yuna! Turn it against us! Hey! Hey, that's not what happened! Yuna grins and the time in my cheeks turns. The audience has not stopped laughing since my balloon incident, and I don't even notice my break in character. The student professor claps his hands.
Great job, you two. Have either of you done improv before?
We shake our heads.
You're a natural.
Really?
Yes, that was hilarious. You two have great chemistry together. You make an awesome team.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
You should have done the voice.
What?
You should have done the intro.
Yeah, thanks. That's, by the way, that is my purposefully shitty female voice.
That's my favorite thing, is your purposely shitty female voice.
Yuna glows with excitement as we return to our
We
seats.
rocked it.
Aw.
Thanks for coming and joining me.
No problem. That was a lot more fun than I expected it to be.
All right, I swapped out the scenarios on the table so we don't get any repeats. So who's next?
Yuna and I watched the other teams perform their skits to the amusement of to the amusement of us all. By the time everyone is finished, my sides hurt from laughing so hard.
People think improv is so cringy, but like
when it's just like when it's just you and another group of people who are all planning on doing like a bunch of improv, and when you understand that the second you start doing improv, you're probably going to do dumb shit, and that doesn't bother you anymore. Improv's fun.
Yeah.
Improv's a lot of fun.
I've only been to a few, like I went to like 2 of the improv shows at UA, and I felt bad for not going to any more of them because I knew the people that were doing it and I wanted to support them.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have any chemistry together on stage. Off stage, they had a grand old time, but on stage,
they were. You think they were a little bit stage shy, or?
I mean, they were the engineering college.
Oh, okay.
So, like, they just didn't have any on stage chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
They probably were too stage shy, and I don't know. It was just
the point that I typically have when it comes to improv is the improv is not something that I ever do to do at like for an audience. Whenever I'm doing improv, I find the improv partner that I'm with, and I go, how can I make them stammer? How can I make them break character? What can I do? What can I say that is so bad, so out there, so impossible that they have to stammer and break character? And I assume that whoever I'm with is doing the exact same back to me. And it's a very friendly, hilarious battle between two people who are trying to make the other person crack and start laughing. That's the whole point of improv to me.
My favorite improv game is the party improv. The one that everybody always steals from Who's Line, where one person is the party hoster and everyone who keeps coming into the party is a different character.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, the host has to guess. My favorite ones, I have a type, and my drama teacher in high school knew that. I would always get some Disney theme. One time, I was a drunk Snow White. One time, I was just a series of Disney princesses. And another time, I was a series of Disney villains.
That's great.
And the best part was when I did the series of Disney villains, one girl was wearing a black and white polka dotted shirt. So I put that audience member, that classmate, into the scene. I just went over there and started petting her head as Cruella de Vil. I wanted to make a coat out of her.
That's great.
It was wonderful. Just some freshman.
Yeah. As I enter the house, I hear soft giggles coming from the living room. A tuft of blonde hair peeks over the couch. Another wave of giggles floats from the couch, but cease abruptly as I step closer. Nikki hangs up the phone and turns around to greet me.
Hi, big bro.
Oh, she definitely has a secret boyfriend.
Oh, 100%.
I plop down next to her. Who was that guy? Her eyes grow wide.
How did you know it was a guy?
You just told me? Just stare at her. Who else could it be? Middle, bottom, top.
Don't do this. That's not what I wanted you to do.
1.
Yeah. You just told me.
Perfect.
Hit or miss. I guess I never miss, huh? You got a boyfriend, and he better not be fucking kissing you.
Moi.
I'll end him.
If I ever find out my father threatens you with a gun, oh, it's over for him. We're not playing that game.
Your brother almost threatened me with a gun, but
yeah,
he thought I was a home invader.
He thought you were a home invader. He didn't know you were there. That wasn't perfectly.
I feel like I handled the situation well, which was like, as soon as he was like, "Who are you?" I turned around, I was like, "Hi, I'm John. I was like, "Hi, I'm Paladin. I'm CPQ's boyfriend. Nice to meet you." She sent me. We were dating at that point. We were headed to Comic-Con.
I was already there, but I left my makeup bag.
It was like, she sent me here to get the makeup bag. I had knocked, nobody answered. She told me just to go through the basement or through the garage. Like, great. Perfect.
I'm sorry that your first introduction to my brother was him almost holding a gun to your face.
I didn't even see a gun, but he apparently had one like around the corner sitting on a desk or something.
He was ready to pull it on you.
I didn't, but I do now.
That's tricky.
So, who was it?
No one.
Doesn't sound like no one.
He's just a classmate.
I reach around and grab Nikki's phone while she's distracted.
No, give it back!
She screams in my ear as she leaps over me, reaching toward her phone. I fend her off and keep the phone away from her grasping hands. She continues to struggle. I worm my way off the couch and flip through her contacts list. before she can scramble to her feet.
I just.
The last dialed number is to a Ken.
Okay. Okay.
Kind of weird Japanese name is Ken. Nikki snatches the phone right as I speak, then pummels my chest with her fists.
God,
You know, I was really terrified we were gonna find some nudes she sent him, and I was like, "Ooh, we're gonna have the talk about being under 18."
Is he even a real person?
Of course he is.
But his name is Ken. What if you had named your main character Ken?
Ow. My stomach hurts from laughing.
You're the worst.
She hits me hard one last time before turning on her heels and storming upstairs. When she's halfway under the top, she
And
pauses.
by the way, Ken means strong in Japanese.
Like, sure you can.
Sure, you're Ken. How do, Ken? Come back to me, buddy. That was the cringiest line in the entirety of the first act, and it was the best.
Or Hadatsun Spuken.
What?
That's another move that they do.
Oh, well,
So
they did
there's
sure
the-
you're Ken. How
There's
do, Ken?
there's the Hadouken, which is the fireball.
Yeah, yeah.
There's Shoryuken, which is the uppercut. And Hadatsun Spuken is a fucking windmill kick that spins them halfway across the stage.
We had, oh shit, what was his name? It was Ken and, oh shit.
Ryu.
Ryu. We had Ken and Ryu in our Comic-Con skit, and one of the lines was, "Sure, you're Ken. How do, Ken? Come back to me, buddy."
I still think it's funny that the move is called Shoryuken because it's
Show you, Ken. Show you, Ken.
but it also like there's Shoyu and Ken, but then in the middle there is Ryu. Shoryuken.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything, but simultaneously, it's funny that the characters' names are Ryu and Ken, and they both have a move named Shoryuken. Oh, yeah. Oops. Still Ken? I hear laughter. Is that me? Did I just laugh out loud? Kaido is leaning against the doorway behind me, a broad smile on his face. I jump when I see him. First Akira, now Kaido. What?
Favorite song.
Or the shitty the shitty xylophone?
It's my favorite song.
Why's everyone always sneaking up on me?
That's good. Ken is a funny name. It's like Yen.
He continues to laugh at his joke. Lincoln gradually calms down.
Why does your face look like that?
Well, like what? I always look like this.
No, like this.
He mimics a look of cringe and disbelief. I don't... What? I should go do my homework.
Good idea. Get smart.
I love her uncle so much.
I slowly head towards the stairs, still unsure about what just happened.
I wish I had a cool uncle.
As I walk...
The coolest uncle.
As I walk up the steps, I can still hear faint chuckles from Kaido as he echoes Kenyan. Stop it. Still, since I was already in my room, I caught up on studying until it was time for sleep. The kid has a TV in his room.
Yep. I mean, he's 20-something. He's not really a kid.
I wake up energized and throw off the blankets. Today is our match against Onabugeisha. Onabugeisha. And I'm looking forward to it. I wake up energized. Well, I just read that. I don't like when they just add text onto
Same.
text that already existed.
I run through my morning routine.
I run through my morning routine, thinking up strategies in my head. Then try to refocus as I finish my breakfast. I still have a class to attend before my match. This shirt keeps this shirt.
Between shirts.
It just feels like.
It's also really far back here, so you could
Yeah,
stand
like-
up and fix it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like it's sitting weird on my.
Oh, were you sitting on the back?
No, I'm not sitting on the back of the shirt. Just it was sitting like I was wearing it backwards. I grab my bag and hop on my bike. There's an unexpectedly heavy amount of traffic this morning, and I rush into class right on time. It was a little too close for comfort. As I settle into my seat, the professor clears his throat and begins the lesson.
Good morning, class. For today's lesson, we will discuss the differences between energy and kinetic weapons.
Sounds interesting, or skip. I feel like if we skip every class, this is not going to end well
No,
for
it's
us.
not. Odds evens.
That was going to fall. 13. Sounds interesting.
Cool.
And Paranoia is out of a veto or reroll. So we're just going to go with it, because I don't think either of us want
No.
to skip this lesson.
Let's first review the two defensive mechanisms of a gear, the shield and hull.
The hull is the physical gear.
The shield is a virtually invisible barrier generated by using the core's energy. The strength of the shield varies greatly
didn't actually
depending on
care
the
to put
core,
in all of the
shield
lines.
generator, and power allocation
Like
settings.
they didn't care enough to send the actors all of the lines. They might have
Energy
added
and
stuff
kinetic
after the
weapons are
recording
meant to
just really
target
do it.
opposite
Yeah, it
defenses.
didn't feel like getting them back on
Energy
the
like, hey,
horn.
based
record
arsenals
these
are
5 lines
effective
for us.
against shields as they
Then they would
quickly
have to say
drain
them again.
shield energy. But
Probably.
because of that, they are weak at penetrating the hull. Alternatively, kinetic weaponry is designed to puncture the armor, but they are weak against shields as the kinetic energy gets dispersed over a large surface area, the entire shield. For the purpose of war games and recreational use, only energy weapons are permitted. A gear is considered destroyed when it is depowered. Of course, outside of recreational combat, this rule does not apply.
The gear is only depowered when the pilot is dead. A student raises his hand.
What about hybrid weapons?
Ah, yes. Hybrid weapons are able to equally damage both the shield and hull. However, their damage strength is not as effective as a singular purpose weapon.
They're like plasma weapons. Plasma has both an energy and physical state.
Please turn to page 233 and let's take a look at the different types of energy weapons.
Putting on pants.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, why are you putting on like pants midstream and on top of your shorts?
Try to stick it. I don't have a fabric chair like you do.
That's all for
I have
today.
the faux
Please make
leather
sure you
one.
have all completed your web link assignments for next class.
Blackboard. I pack my things and head to the hangar to meet up with my team. Our match is scheduled earlier than usual, and we need to rethink our strategy. Strategy. The plans we discussed had all revolved around our match against Strike X, but now that they're disqualified, we have to come up with new ones against our new opponent. Why didn't we do that the rest of the week?
Yeah,
We had a
we
week
have
to
like
plan
we have
for
like
this.
an hour before this happens.
Why
Like,
weren't any plans created before the week was out?
oh man, it's not an entire piece of ice anymore.
Bottom stones. 1.75 wieners, otherwise known as a handle. I hadn't finished my drink yet. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't.
Oh well,
I mean, it doesn't hurt to just add more to what I've already got.
it's fair.
I just, whenever I looked in, I thought I was pouring a brand new drink and I saw that and I was like, oh, that's a lot of drink. I was worried.
You were worried. It was kind of.
I was worried that I poured like a massive drink of whiskey and I was like, ooh,
Ooh.
that's more than I wanted. I enter the hangar and look for Aura. When I arrive, everyone is already there. Show waves.
Roseth?
Hey.
Hi.
Carrie greets me with a nod.
Again.
Good.
She has a soul
We're all
again?
here.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we
Let's
could
head
just
to the
see the moment
pre-combat
her
room and
soul
start
left
planning
her
out
body at
strategies.
that.
That was the first thing I did. Like, so anybody on the Discord can go and see in the meme chat that I posted it there.
Yep, it was great.
But
Spent
yeah,
an hour on that instead of watching shows.
45 minutes.
Instead of watching a show.
Yeah, but it was 45 minutes well spent because you were laughing the entire
It
time I was
pretty
making
funny.
it.
It's pretty funny.
Hey,
Damn it, May.
You're gonna throw us off our game, May.
We collectively turn around at the sound of May's voice. She waves and beams at us as she runs closer.
what are you doing here, May?
Kaori sounds less than amused.
I wanted to wish you all good luck. I'm so excited for our match.
She's gonna turn into an absolute bitch in the middle of the thing.
Me too.
Mai smiles and nods. Let's give it our best. Who needs luck when you're this good, or stay quiet? Ooh, give that bitch the silent treatment. I'm with Kaori on this. I don't like her. She's too uppity. Top to bottom.
2,
Who needs luck when you're this good?
do some nuzzling, but okay. I guess
No,
not.
I was making smug faces at you. I was like,
Oh, I was gonna do some nuzzling.
true tsundere for me. I mean,
We love us some tsundere girls. That's why Natsuki is best girl.
Natsuki is best
Too
girl.
bad she breaks her neck.
Only because she's weird. Like, the whole thing
That was
is weird.
Monica.
Yeah, Monica did that. Yeah, I never actually saw that, and I'm glad I didn't. I don't want to see it. I'm glad we went down the less creepy route, which is just to get stabbed.
I can teach you how to not get the creepy route, and we can play it again.
I don't want to play it again. I played it once.
By the way, boys and girls, if you're still interested in playing Doki Doki Literature Club, just restart the game. As soon as Natsuki leaves, as soon as Monica talks to Natsuki and she leaves, quit the game, like save it, quit, and start over with another girl's route. Once you get to the end of the third girl's route, you'll get a little Easter egg that's like, I noticed you tried to make all of us happy. Thank you. We love you so much. And then the credits roll.
That's cool. Who needs luck when you're this good? Try and keep up. You wouldn't want a one-sided match.
Don't underestimate us.
Too late. As quickly as she arrives, she's gone in a flash.
She's so nice. I'm totally feeding off of her enthusiasm. I'm getting a better vibe off of this match too than the one off of Strike X.
No.
No.
Girl, honey.
Her no turn the music off.
Kaori, it was middle school, maybe high school. Get over it.
Joe blinks at Kaori's outburst.
I guarantee you've never seen that boy ever
She's
again.
just putting on an act. She was trying to psych us out. Don't fall for it.
I don't think that was her goal.
You guys don't know her like I do. You can't trust her. Especially when she's acting all friendly like that.
She could be like one of those really shitty people that act like a friend and like around other people, but then when you're alone are like, I am going to ruin your life and nobody will trust you ever again.
It might be like that, but everything I've read about her, she had all good intentions.
Okay.
Anyways,
because like
let's go
Kaori
strategize
liked
while we
their
have some
third
time.
best friend like a lot, right? And May was like, I guarantee you he likes you too. You should tell him. She's like, no, I can't do that. And so she goes behind Kaori's back. She's like, Kaori likes you a lot. And instead of being like, oh, okay, he goes to her and says, hey, sorry, I don't like you like that.
In front of everybody.
I don't remember if it was in front of everybody, but
Hey, wait for us!
But May was incorrect in her Cupid wingman thing, and Kaori has never forgiven her.
Ah. After a quick change into our pilot suits, we meet at the holodesk.
Belly button.
Yep. And of course, Sho doesn't have one because he's a boy.
He's flat. He has nothing.
No, you don't understand. Boys don't have belly buttons. That's purely a female feature.
Well, he also doesn't have a
so
dick.
what's the
We
deal?
already talked to him about this.
Once again, another false advertisement. Men are strikingly accurate to Ken dolls. They made those things anatomically accurate.
Onna Bugiesha is a melee-only team. It will
You
be
can tell
important
she
to pay attention to our
struggled.
positioning and maintain a safe distance.
We've had close combat teams in the past. Claw of the Wild comes to mind from a few weeks ago. My use focused on a holodesk and takes a serious
Claw
tone.
of the Wild was a melee-centric team, but their gears were knitted to perform a hybrid role. Based on Onna Bugesha's data,
I might
their
download
gears
this and
are
try
all
to go through
custom-tailored
my
for
use
high bursts
friendship
of
route.
speed and close combat
'Cause I need that
engagements.
shit.
We would benefit greatly from keeping a distance. If we
What?
play defensively, it will force them to chase us, and we can wear them down before going on the
Going
offense.
through Mayu's friendship route is basically the same thing we're doing to Sho. We're trying to get him
Oh,
with her. We
oh,
would be trying to get her with him.
him?
I guarantee you that's what it is. I guarantee you that's what it is.
What do you think, Broseph?
Agreed, range is key, or it's time for a Super Smash Melee Brawl! Super Smash Brothers!
Evens odds.
Ba-ba-la, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-la. It's a 10. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Aw.
I'm sorry.
Ba-ba-la,
You know what I do? I go for the odds when I think it's the one we're gonna get.
ba-la, 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 ba-la. Okay.
Somebody liked my video.
Alright, well, I don't think anybody wants to waste a reroll on this, so we're gonna go with it. If they have no ranged weaponry, we should do as much damage from afar as we can. Whittling them down before fully engaging will give us the advantage.
Sounds good to me.
Mayu and Kaori both nod. Okay, well, we can all do range, but Aura can't. Team looks at
I'll
Kaori.
engage May head on and keep her out of the fight.
That kind of goes against our plan. To my surprise, Kaori grits her teeth and bites back a retort. She studies the holodesk for a little too long than size.
I guess I don't have much of a choice. I'll hang back with you guys and intercept if one of the enemy gears manages to break through.
Mayu nods.
I think that would be best.
The fucking Mayu voice actress is like all on this scene.
Right?
Okay, let's recap. We'll play it from a distance and keep baiting their team. Since Mayu is our best shot, we'll keep her well protected and follow her lead.
Kaori looks at me. She finally looks more focused, and then I see, and then I've seen her all week.
You and Sho can play aggressively if we take the lead. I will intercept whoever reaches Mayu, if they even manage to. Got it?
We all nod. Then the tension is palpable. Even though Kaori is always serious, her tone is more aggressive than
We
usual.
have a rare opportunity to really boost our MMR, and we can't throw this chance away.
It's so weird hearing somebody else say MMR. That doesn't pertain to like a fighting game or like a an online competitive esport style game.
I love
There's
this.
absolutely no way we can lose to May.
That almost sounded like a threat. I nod a little uneasily and glance at Sho and Mayu, whose faces mirror my thoughts. Kaori turns back to the holodesk and uploads our plans as we wait in silence. A loud beep announces the match. I mutter under my breath. Saved by the beep. Sho and Mayu seem equally relieved.
Just make sure you guys stay focused.
Of course.
Sho forces enthusiasm into his voice, attempting to raise our morale. Kaori ignores him and Sho deflates.
Let's go.
Well, damn. All right. We enter the arena from one side, while Onabugeisha enters from the other.
Welcome, everyone. Are you all ready for another fantastic match?
Yeah.
Good, because we have an amazing one lined up for you. Onabugeisha versus 8/20/49/11.
I like that we'd never changed our team's
Right?
name.
Oh, they're cute.
They all have boobs.
Of course they do. They're the girls.
They are female mechs. Because why does that make sense?
Look, if I was a mech pilot, I would want mine to be a girl.
Do you think the boobs contain missile pods?
I don't know, maybe.
Because if I were designing a mech that had boobs, I would put missile pods in
Oh,
them.
100%. Or just Bluetooth speakers.
They're big Bluetooth speakers. Everyone's comms are open as we await the sound off. May's team get into position and wait with relaxed confidence. And then there's our motley crew. As we also get into formation, the tension I felt from before intensifies. This no longer feels as friendly of a match as I thought it'd be. As soon as the sound off blares, May's team dashes straight toward us. A faint shimmer surrounding their gears reveals a hefty frontal shield.
On it!
Mayu raises her gun and takes aim while the three of us position to protect her. A heavy round flies into the gears into the distance. Although one shot connects, it dissipates into a hexagon of shimmers.
They're shields! They're tailored to deal with rail rounds. I need the shield to be weakened so that my shot can penetrate and force an immediate to power.
Affirmative. I'll stay back and protect. You two go aggressive and focus on knocking out their shield.
Let's go.
Roger that. Switching to EMP rounds now.
I love the zoom on.
Sho and I boost forward, spraying a hail of energy rounds. The enemy team takes evasive maneuvers. May breaks away while the other three continue racing towards Mayu.
Nice.
The closest enemy gear takes the brunt of the damage, and its front barrier drops. Mayu takes advantage of the vulnerability and aims a shot at the gear, instantly depowering it.
One down.
I have two of them approaching me. Cowdy? Cowdy!
Of course.
Hey, Mexi G!
Nice.
Aura has already left her position and sprints towards
What are
May.
you doing? You have to protect Mayu.
I am! I'm taking out May so she can't attack.
That wasn't the plan.
You two cover her.
We are not in position to.
We're gonna lose.
She's already engaged. Let's go.
Sho and I boost back to Mayu, but it's too late.
Depowered.
Her voice is lethally calm. This can't be good. 2 enemy gears shift to Sho and
2
I.
on 2, but not much distance. Play this out carefully.
For once, Sho is serious. This is big brain time. The gears split their focus, and one of them charges toward me while the other boosts towards Sho. I boost away and take aim. Hit! I aim in true, and a blast of energy rounds collides with the gear. She stumbles back from the hit while I create more distance between us. Before she can strike again, I move away to create more distance between us. Okay. I raise my guns for another shot. Fire! She tries dodge. She tries dodge, but is too slow, and my shots pellet her shield. She's pushed back from the force of the blow, but once she gets to her bearings, she boosts back towards me. As she approaches, I boost away from her and weave around the arena, forcing her to chase me. I steady my aim. Fire!
Nice.
She's too slow to dodge, and my shot strikes right through her shield. Her gear can't support the hit, and she's depowered. I look over at Sho just in time to see an enemy gear strike. Watch it. Oh, sorry. We're in a mech. Watch out! I boost closer and shoot again. The round connects with the gear just as her attack connects with Sho. Sho blocks just a second too late, and he's depowered, but because she wasn't expecting my attack, she left herself vulnerable and is also depowered.
Right.
May is the only remaining enemy
One more gear and the match is ours.
On it. On it. I boost toward Kaori and May, who are locked in a duel. That's a pretty cool shot.
That is a cool shot.
Aura strikes with vigor, but is parried. May retaliates with a wide swing, which Kaori barely manages to block. I'm here.
Don't interfere.
Really?
Huh?
What?
What do you mean, don't interfere?
Let me handle this.
Cody! This isn't a simulation. It's a real match.
Yeah, what you're saying.
May is going down in a one-on-one. She won't have any excuses this way.
This is a team match. You can't put a win in jeopardy because you want to make this personal.
What should I do? I actually get to choose.
Oh.
Give me odds and evens.
Odds evens.
That is a 16, and that's a reroll for me, dog.
Okay. Still odds evens.
Unless somebody wants. So currently we are engage May.
Okay.
I asked to reroll because I don't want to interfere.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to veto that before I make a reroll?
No, I'm not. I don't know about
Waiting to hear about paranoia. We're currently about to
aren't they out
engage
of
May.
veto and reroll though?
No, just
No?
veto.
Oh.
Or just reroll.
Okay.
I haven't used a veto yet. Currently, the only people that have done anything the entire day is Paranoia used his reroll earlier. And nobody chose to veto him. So, I still have my reroll veto. Well, I'm about to use my reroll. But I still have my veto. Everybody still has their veto. I'm using a reroll. Oh,
okay.
there's a veto from Paranoia. Do you want to veto the veto,
Yeah,
or
I'll veto the veto.
are you sure? Because we could just engage May and probably win the fight, but we would lose Kaori.
Look, here's the thing. If she defeats Kaori, we'll go up against her then.
Yeah, but then we'll be down a gear.
That's fair.
I'm confident we can pull this out regardless, but
Yeah, don't interfere. We don't want it to get worse.
so you are using your veto to counter
Yeah.
Paranoia's veto?
Yeah.
I don't mean to bait out vetoes like that, but simultaneously.
Do it.
All right, so the reroll stands.
Sorry, Paranoia.
Both of you guys are out of vetoes,
Okay. And you're out of a reroll.
and I'm out of a reroll.
You need me to blow it? Would that help you?
No, I got it. Here we go. Odds and evens. Oh no, I lost the die. Hold on. Lost it again.
You're just too anxious.
That's a 5. Don't
All
interfere.
Right. All right. What if I told you I wanted a reroll?
At this point,
Yeah.
and you could do it.
I'm not going to. Do it.
I feel bad. I feel bad for Paranoia because he and like sometimes he agrees with us, sometimes he doesn't. But if he ever tries to veto on something we care about enough to use a reroll, there's almost always somebody waiting in the wings to anti-veto.
That's fair.
We need more people playing is the problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, well we're not interfering this time then. Make a save point here anyway, just in case this ends up being bad for us. Don't interfere. I cut Eagle's engines.
What are you doing?
May notices my engine is off, and she lunges towards Eagle.
Of course she does.
Take it. I keep Eagle still.
Why?
I barely register Aura chasing after us. All I can see is May's blade. Ignited with energy, her shield shimmers as it fades away. In one clean swing, I am depowered. Wait, May is depowered too? Because she was not paying attention and Aura got the shot. Aura took the shot. Aura is still in her final stance, her blade extended. She must have hit May at the same time May hit me.
She summoned all her remaining power into her final attack so she could go for a direct gear depower.
May knew she wouldn't win 2-on-1. She went for the safest points, which was the smartest play for their overall team.
That wasn't subtle at all. Aura's blade lowers, but Kaoru doesn't speak. Sho and Mayu fall silent too.
8, 20, 49, 11 are the winners! Congratulations!
The crowd roars to life, but their excitement doesn't penetrate the friction clouding our team.
Still not a good enough excuse to use the word
But we have
penetrate.
another match in just a few minutes. Please clear the arena.
May's team heads back to their pre-combat room as we head to ours. When we enter the pre-combat room, Kaori is nowhere to be found. She must already be changing. Sho and I go to change, but Mayu stays back. She must be really upset if she's actively avoiding Kaori.
Man, I'm not liking the vibe right now.
I didn't engage May, so I don't see why Kaori would be upset.
It's because she didn't get her clean win.
Yeah, we did distract May. What else could I have done? Sho scratches the back of his head and
That was a
sighs.
lose-lose situation any way you look at it.
I shrug. It's in the past now.
Yeah.
Sho and I finish changing and head back to the pre-combat room. As soon as we enter, Kaori stomps up to me. Maya is nowhere to be found.
Why did you do that?
I blink at her in confusion. Do what exactly?
I told you to stay out of it.
Which is precisely what I did. She bites back another retort.
You don't understand.
How could he? You aren't making any sense at all.
Kaori tenses and glares at Sho.
I don't have to explain myself to you.
No, Kaori.
We turn around to see Mayu. Her jaw is set and her eyes are hard. I've never seen her this upset before. It's chilling. Kaori even eyes widen.
Mayu?
You put your personal agenda above the team and risked the match. Our positioning was compromised, and I had no support. Those two were out of position because of an aggressive call that you made. That ended up costing us 3 depowered gears. So no, you do owe us an explanation.
Her voice is calm but severe. Mayu's ice is a lot more unnerving than any of Kaori's fiery outbursts. This is getting out of control. Back off, Mayu, or we're waiting for an answer, Kaori, or ... Ah, I kind of wish I'd waited for my reroll for this moment. Still, if I hadn't used my reroll, we wouldn't have gotten the result we got up to this point. Give me some numbers.
Bottom to top.
Bottom to top. Here we go. 14. That is third. Back off, Mayu. You're the only one that can do anything about it.
I'm thinking. Give me a second.
Here's the thing: is I agree with Mayu, and I want to see Kaori have to not just go ahead and take the hothead option here.
Yeah, I want to reroll for this one.
You gonna reroll?
Yeah.
I use my. No, I'm joking.
Fuck you.
Bait out the reroll for a veto. One of these days, I'm gonna do that. You're gonna ask me, do you want me to use my reroll on this? And I'll be like, yeah, I do. All right, I use my reroll. Veto! You're gonna be like, the fuck? It's like, don't offer me your reroll. I'm gonna veto it from now on. All right, so we're rerolling. Nobody has any vetoes or rerolls left, but it's already past the midway point of the stream, so nobody's getting anything back.
Oh god, we're gonna fuck up this game now.
This is the roll to win them all. We want to see anywhere between, I assume we want to see anywhere between 1 to 10. Or 1, is it 1 to 10? Yeah, 1 to 10.
Yeah, oh god.
Because ... or we're waiting for an answer.
Dot is our safest answer.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
That's a 1.
Oh. Oh.
Dot it is.
That right there, that was not a crit fail.
that was not a wasted reroll. I stay silent. Kyrie looks between the three of us, then sighs.
I get it. I made a mistake. But I can't be expected to always make the perfect calls.
We don't expect that from you either. But when you start throwing the blame around...
I'm sorry, okay?
That didn't sound very sincere.
It would help if you meant it.
Kyrie clenches her hands into fists.
I said I'm sorry! I messed up. It was my fault. Blame me. What else do you want?
Results. Apologies don't mean anything. Correction of past behavior is really what you're looking for. Let's drop it. She already said sorry. Joe crosses his arm but nods. At least Mayu seems to have returned to her normal demeanor.
Okay.
We usually celebrate as a team after a win, but I get the feeling that won't happen this time. After picking up our stuff, we exit the pre-combat room. May is waiting for us outside, leaning against the door.
Hey guys! Congratulations on the win.
I glance at May, barely registering her presence. I'm too wrapped up in what happened in the pre-combat room. May's smile falters when no one answers.
Wow, with gloomy faces like that, I'd think you were the ones that lost.
Shut up, May!
May flinches from the ferocity in Kaori's voice.
I was just kidding, Kaori.
This is all your fault!
May is stunned into silence.
You seriously need to calm down. May didn't do anything.
You're being too harsh, Kaori.
Kaori's eyes flash.
You guys are taking her side? I thought you were my teammates!
We may be your teammates, but you are being an ass.
You aren't taking anyone's side, but since the match, you've been acting like a complete...
ass!
Sho!
Sho catches himself and falls silent.
A complete what?
Nothing.
She pauses. When she finally speaks, her voice cracks.
I see. That's how you really feel.
Sho's look softens.
No, I didn't mean that.
I did. Kaori turns to face May.
You.
She lowers her head.
You always turn my friends against me.
She spins on her heel and walks away. When she thinks she's out of eyesight, she starts running.
Kaori!
Kaori disappears. Sho is about to rush after her when May blocks his path.
I have to go apologize. I didn't mean what I said.
I did. She was acting like a bitch. She was. May sighs.
You need to give her space right now.
I have no remorse. I don't either. She needs to learn to be an adult. She's in college.
But the music is making me feel bad.
It's wanting you to feel bad. And Kaori's emotionally manipulating everybody right now.
Yeah.
It's not how a real friend would act. A real friend would recognize their mistake and learn to have better...
control?
Yeah.
Or try.
Acknowledge their legitimately acknowledge their mistake and move on from it. Kaori is blaming everybody but herself for what's going on in her life because it's the most convenient thing for her to do. As teammates, it's our job to make sure that she grows as a person, and blaming everybody for what's going wrong in her life is not how you grow as a person. It's how you end up pretty much bottom of the barrel because you'll never learn to change anything and you'll never get better. Sho looks torn, but doesn't try to follow Kaori.
I don't think I've ever seen her too upset to yell.
May looks down worriedly at her feet.
I was too mean to her earlier. I'm sorry.
No, this is not the response. We need resolve. She needs tough love. Nobody gives it to her because this is how she reacts. She throws a temper tantrum and runs away. The correct response to this is to call her out on her bullshit.
You guys shouldn't blame yourselves. Calorie just needs time to cool off.
She needs time to learn what it's like to be an adult. You sound like you speak from experience. May sighs and nods. What's up with her saying, you always turn my friends against me?
It's a long story.
Middle school.
Something that happened back in middle school.
You're in college.
Middle school.
Something to do with Ryota? You two go way back.
Yeah, we do.
May's pocket vibrates. She pulls out her phone and reviews the message.
My team is wondering where I am. Don't worry too much about Calorie. She'll be okay. I'll talk to her when she's calmed down.
Will she calm down?
We nod and watch May head out. I don't feel any less guilty.
I shouldn't
I don't feel
have
guilty
acted that
to begin
way
with.
earlier.
So I guess I don't feel any less guilty either. Because I don't feel guilty to begin with.
No, it was my stupid comments. I never should have said something like that.
Guess I still feel guilty too. Let's give Kaori her space like May suggested, or I'll go check up on her.
Well, shit.
And everybody's out of everything, so this roll's final.
Oh man, odds evens.
That's a nat 20.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'll go check up on her.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'm not kidding. That's a nat 20 right there.
Oh, you're kidding.
I'll go see if she's okay.
No, let me do it.
He's right.
Whoops. Whoops. I forgot.
No, now people are gonna have to refresh the page.
I forgot that I used the page up and page down buttons to start and stop the stream.
Oof.
Whoops.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. We're
Give
back.
it a minute. Let them refresh.
It was down for a half a second, so hopefully that doesn't really matter.
They're still gonna have to refresh their page.
I know, but like, the stream went down for a half a second. I hope that doesn't actually matter. Paranoia not
Now
a
I
mod.
do feel guilty.
How's Paranoia not a mod on my Twitch chat?
I'll make them a mod.
Mod user.
Yay!
There we go. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's a mod on YouTube, but I don't know. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright, I think we're back.
He's back.
I
Okay.
think we're back. I did not mean to end the stream
We
where
are
I did.
sorry.
I don't think she'll be too happy to see you right now, Sho.
He's right.
Joe frowns but doesn't protest. You guys can head out. I'll text you once everything's okay. Just playing CTR. Oh, Crash Team Racing. That's right, Crash Team Racing got a re-release.
Oh, sweet.
I ended the stream for like a half a second. I don't know if it actually took. Because I literally clicked the button and then immediately started the stream again.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, there's no point in you guys just standing around here.
Let us know if we can help.
Will do. I wave at the pair and jog in the direction Kaori went. The sun dips low in the sky and the evening rolls in. I search several locations for Kaori until I arrive at one of the more secluded campus quads. There's only one student sitting in the bench with a bag at her feet. Kaori's face is bent over her chest and I can hear faint sniffles. She probably wants to be alone right now or console her.
Odds evens.
Odds evens? That's an 11. She probably wants to be alone right now. I save after all of them anyway, even though we can't make any decisions. Now she wants to talk to anyone right now, and I bet she'll be mortified if she knew anyone saw her crying. Best to give her some space and see how things are going, how she's going tomorrow. I head back to my bike. The entire ride home, I run through the events leading up to Kaori's departure and come up with multiple ways we could have handled the situation. Hindsight is always 20/20. I still feel like we made the right decision. I don't care how sad everybody is.
Yeah.
Kaori's behavior was incredibly toxic and needed to be called out.
That's fair.
The house is quiet when I arrive home. I'm a little relieved as I'm exhausted, so I head straight to bed and fall fast asleep. Get out of my cup, you fly. Got him.
Good.
I think he was drunk off of the fumes.
At least he died high.
I turn off my alarm and stretch, then let out a groan. Yesterday was a really intense day, and I'm certainly feeling it now. At least it's Friday. That means nothing to me as an adult. Friday means nothing to me as an adult.
No, unless you have an office job, it means nothing.
With a regretful sigh, I roll out of bed and prepare for my classes. I grab a quick breakfast and drive to school. Unless you are a young kid or an adult with an office job, the weekend means nothing. It doesn't exist. It just means that you're more busy, if anything. The weekend is one of those, like, I dread it times, because it doesn't mean what it used to mean, which is like, hey, this is the time to plan things because you're guaranteed that everybody will be off. It's like, no. Most people you know probably have a job in the service industry at this point because all of the office jobs are being held by people in their 60s.
People in their 70s and 80s. A lot of them.
That refuse to stop working.
Because they'll be bored, apparently. You know,
Then
it's
what-
not like they have enough
then
money
what
to
if
join
the-
the country club or anything.
I would say, then what if they, you know, retire and get a job bagging groceries? You can talk to all the people you want then, and maybe you'll have an actual respect for the kind of work that you're putting on others.
Because they look down too much upon it.
That has always been the dumbest decision.
It really
in my
has.
or not decision, but like dumbest idea or understanding is that
Look,
oh,
here's the thing.
hoo-hoo.
Here's the thing. I understand if you can't afford to retire, but if you're holding a job just because you don't want to sit at home,
And do nothing, then get a hobby
Like,
or get a less
volunteer
or do a job that if you're not doing the
Join
job
a gym.
if you're not doing the job because you need the money, if you're doing the job just because you don't want to not have a job, get a different job and give your position to somebody who could actually use the money. You clearly don't need it anymore. Get a job that'll give you, your beer money for the week and call it a day.
Here's the thing. If you're having this high-paying job, retirement is based off of what, the last 10 years of your employment?
If you're talking about actual physical retirement, it's
Yeah.
something like that. But a 401k, which you should be building from get-go, is really what you're retiring on at this point. Because retirement age is something ludicrous now.
Yeah. Honestly, we are gonna have to be 80 before we're able to afford to retire. It's ridiculous.
Unless we change our retirement laws. Because once all the old people are gone, we'll be the old people. We'll actually be able to make the rules for once. Yuna is waiting for me in class and smiles broadly when I sit down next to her. Hi, Yuna.
Hey! Sorry we haven't had a chance to catch up. How did your meeting go with Yuri?
It wasn't as bad as I anticipated. Even though he asked a lot of
About
questions.
Eagle?
No, he was actually interested about my team back in CINY.
I thought we were saying Cindy now.
Yeah. She blinks in genuine surprise.
Oh, I was under the impression he was curious about Eagle.
It's okay, I didn't mind. Clearly he did his homework about how teams run in the States because he didn't seem surprised by anything I shared.
There's a reason why he's the youngest account manager to manage a team at Dashu.
Have you talked with him yet?
Yes. He said that you show a lot of promise, and he's confident that if the rest of your teammates are as determined as you are, then you'll definitely be a force to be reckoned with.
Hey. That's it?
Yeah. Should he have said anything else?
Guess he was serious when he said I should talk to her about her brother. Actually, maybe now isn't the right time to bring up that
Decidedly
conversation.
not.
Ah! But we have to decide.
On.
This is what happens when we use up our rerolls early in the game. Or I guess technically not early enough.
Even odds. What is it? What is it? Are you shitting me? It's a 14.
That's a 14.
That's an even number.
Evens odds. It's time I asked.
Go ahead. Just clicks it, game ends immediately.
Well, we had a good conversation, but there's one thing he said that stood out.
What is it?
I hesitate, trying to think of the most delicate way to put this. I know that you didn't find Dashu through the SBA. She opens her mouth to speak, but I shake my head. I know how difficult it must have been for you to reach out to them. She gazes at her lap. I'm grateful that you did. Why didn't you tell me?
It wasn't relevant.
The team knows what happened to your brother, don't they? I'm the only one who doesn't. She falls silent. What happened?
It was an accident during a match.
How is that not relevant?
I don't think now is an appropriate time to talk about this.
Yuna?
The professor is here. Class is going to start soon.
The professor just entered the room and is getting settled. We still have a few minutes, but it's obvious I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm not going to get anything more out of her now. All right, I'll drop it for now, but we'll finish this conversation later. She nods. The professor enters the room and gets settled.
Good morning, everyone. Please open your textbooks to page 81.
Thank you for not doing the voice while being that serious line.
What voice?
The Kevin voice. You were a more
Your
neutral
assignments
voice.
are on the web
Yeah.
link. Have a great day.
It was pretty Kevin.
It was still Kevin voice. It was just subdued Kevin voice. It was serious Kevin voice, but not like mech serious.
Yes, I am serious voice.
Yeah, it's not his game. It's not his game voice. It was his. This is a serious conversation to be had voice. We're walking together. Did you have another class to go to?
No, but I have to meet my physiotherapy professor. I'm a TA for his class.
I didn't know you were a TA.
Yep. I don't usually help out in his Friday classes, but he's holding exams today, so I need to be there. Do you have any other classes?
Exam on Friday.
No, but I'm kind of hungry. I'll grab lunch in the pilot's lounge. Her face lights up.
Oh, you're lucky. They're supposed to have really good food.
They do, and they have options from other countries. I had a cheeseburger from there once. Her eyes grow wide.
I love cheeseburgers.
You're a cheeseburger.
Doesn't the dining hall serve them too?
I don't think what they serve in the dining hall can even be considered food.
Where do you eat
The
lunch?
hot dog cart.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was a hot dog stand. I didn't know anyone actually ate there.
You should try it. They're so good.
You really like American food, don't you?
Yes.
Yuna checks the time.
Oops, I'm going to be late. I'll see you later.
Bye. I wave as she dashes off. Alone, I make my way to the pilot's lounge.
We'll take her to the pilot's lounge one day for lunch.
And then we'll get the story about her brother while she's eating something she likes.
Yes, yes.
So she'll forever associate that food with her dead brother.
Why would you do this? How dare you?
I check at the menu on display at the lounge. Actually, do we want to go ahead and use this as a good stopping point? Because it's 9:00. It's 9:03.
Yeah. Do it.
We just had a pretty serious moment.
We did.
We'll use the pilot's lounge as a decent stopping point. That's going to be all we have today. Not as many funny moments happened today, but there were some pretty good ones in there. The entire improv scene was pretty good. I hope we can.
That was fun.
I hope we can properly
And
recover
I sang
the audio
for you,
from that.
but he didn't mark that in his notes.
Do what?
I sang for everybody, but you didn't mark it in your notes.
I need my rerolls for next time. Yeah, honestly, by the end of this, it's just like.
Just
by
like
the
we're
end
all
of the stream,
suffering
when,
right now.
Yeah, when everybody runs out of rerolls, you're just like, fuck. It's like,
Oof.
this is. Yeah. Wait, I'm a moderator? Yes, you are Paranoia.
Yeah. He just fixed it.
You're one of the more consistent people on our stream, and I trust your decision-making
deserved it.
skills. Neither of us are really, like, in the chat that often, so we can't actually do any of the banning or timing out of things like serious spoilers
Don't let it go to your head.
or people being dicks. So, when you're here and you notice somebody doing something, I figure I trust you enough to actually use those mod powers.
Now, Paranoia, being dicks does not mean clicking rerolls for things you don't like. He's gonna ban us.
We wouldn't trust him with the power if I thought he would use it that way.
I was
It's
joking.
the entire reason that I made him a moderator. It's a sign of trust for me.
This chair.
It's the best thing that I can give to somebody who shows up to our stream regularly, actively participates in chat, isn't an asshole, and is generally a very cool dude.
Sounds like that sounds like a lot of specifications, but it's really not. It's just like, hey,
It's
here
not.
it
It's
is.
just the sad part is like not a whole lot of people meet those specifications. But anyway, Congratulations, Paranoia. I thought I made you a moderator on YouTube as well, but if I haven't, I'll make you one there too. But anyway, thank you everybody who came out to today's stream. I've been Paladin Null. This has been CPQ.
Hi.
This has been Ace Academy. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and as always, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.